Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And Verizon this morning announced a huge deal. And this is straight from Verizon's news center. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. Verizon Business and AWS accelerate AI application at scale in new fiber deal. This is something, and I think AT&T announced something similar, not a deal with the business, but being able to offer businesses a higher scaled front haul, faster speeds if they want it. And this is something that T-Mobile won't be able to touch. I'll be very honest. They won't be able to scale in this business fiber growth because they don't own or operate any of their own fiber. So if there's a business that wants to do business with T-Mobile, but they're asking for wireline assets, T-Mobile's going to have to decline. The only way they can serve that business is through FWA or private networking, advanced network solutions. Outside of that, T-Mobile won't be able to provide what that specific business may be requesting. In this case, the AWS is going to get new links from Verizon. So that's a big deal. That's Verizon monetizing these assets. Verizon Business today announced a new Verizon AI Connect deal with Amazon Web Service AWS to provide the resilient, high capacity, low latency network infrastructure essentially for the next wave of artificial intelligence innovation. As part of the deal, Verizon will build new long haul high capacity, so Verizon has to build it, fiber pathways to connect AWS data centers locations. This will enable AWS to continue to deliver and scale its secure, reliable, and high performance cloud services for customers building and deploying advanced AI applications at scale. So, the interesting part about this, if you pay for the additional links, you can hook up multiple fiber providers if needed for further redundancy. And right now, to be honest, in the AI space, they're really just throwing around money, big money. I mean, they're paying cities additional millions of dollars to fix roads and streets just so they're able to add the data centers where they would like. They just recently did that in El Paso. Meta just announced a $1.5 billion deal. And in that deal, they're giving El Paso like 20 million to fix roads and potholes and stuff like that. So there's just a ton of money in that space today. And Verizon is taking advantage of it. They're able to provide the long haul, build the long haul because they own and operate it. So that's still today, in my view, will separate Verizon and AT&T from T-Mobile. T-Mobile is competitive. They're kicking. I mean, they're kicking AT&T and Verizon's asses in the wireless space in terms of growth and taking share. But if we're talking right, people still question how is T-Mobile gonna eventually get to the total revenues of that Verizon and AT&T posts, right? T-Mobile is at like close to 22 billion total. Verizon's at like 34 billion and AT&T's at 30 billion, close to 31. T-Mobile won't be able to get to those levels until they scale and operate a fiber network. That is just revenues that T-Mobile they don't have access to today. Like this deal that you see on screen. That is a new revenue unlocking opportunity for Verizon. T-Mobile doesn't have that same access today. Could they strike deals with certain enterprise business customers like Lumen and that still operated and do like a leasing deal? I mean, they could do that, but it'd be the same like what they're doing with the consumer fiber to the prem. They don't own the entire operation, so they only make some of the profit. They don't take 100% of the profit. They take a piece of the pie in regards to that. So it'd be the same in this space if they went that route. I think at some point T-Mobile has to consider in the future owning and operating its own fiber. They have to consider it at some point. The leasing route, I guess it works for them today, but they have to consider owning and operating at some point to be a true, in my opinion, scaled competitor in anything, wireline, business. And trust me, there will be some businesses that won't touch T-Mobile because they can't provide wireline or this type of front haul that you see on screen. So that will be a continued strength for Verizon and AT&T as we head throughout the next few years. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.